All right, welcome into the College Football Roundtable. I'm your host, Chris. You can find me on Twitter at CFP Talk 07. Also, follow the other account that we have at CFB underscore SZN. That's where we put a lot of show stuff and post all kind of content over there. So check us out over there. Before we get started, I wanted to offer our condolences and prayers and thoughts to the people of New Orleans. Horrific tragedy. A lot of lives lost. Just sad stuff. But with that said, I'm going to bring in Tyler, who is actually from Louisiana. He's co-host and co-owner of this, so he knows that state better than anybody. He was born there, raised there, doesn't live too far from New Orleans, so he loves the state. I know he does because I can hear it in his voice whenever he talks about Louisiana, the traditions, all the great stuff about the state of Louisiana. So let's bring on our boy Tyler. What's up, man?
Hey man, I appreciate that intro, bro. That was warm of you. I appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, bro. Well, man, what a tragedy to start off the new year. Man, sad. What a coward, just crazy, man. Crazy always going around in the world, always going around in our country. Just a lot of craziness going on. But that it's sad, man. It's sad what's happening in this world. And like just to take a truck and just drive it down Bourbon Street and just try to run over as many people as you can. And he had bombs, like it's crazy, man. This was a terrorist attack, obviously. We're not going to be like the media and say it's a truck attack, right?
Exactly.
We call it how it is on this show. We keep it real. And, I don't want to get too political, obviously, and I don't want to get too religious as well. But, man, just very ungrateful thing, sad, man. I feel so terrible for the lives that were lost. In my great state of Louisiana, this happened. This could have happened anywhere, obviously. Bourbon Street's a hot spot. So I can see why they picked a spot like Bourbon Street. But it's just so sad, man. So sad. New Orleans is rich, unique history, and it's just so terrible how, with the crime and with obviously this happening, just the beauty and the warm people of this great city and state of Louisiana get overshadowed. But that's kind of what I don't want to get too political or too religious on this. So we definitely have all of the victims, thoughts and prayers. Hopefully we could try to keep on fixing the problems that our country face and the world face. Obviously we got a lot of craziness just going around, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't have said it any better. Just sad stuff. And you're a guy that loves the state. So,
Well,
but
I love the state, man. With
yeah,
all my heart, bro.
I know you do. I always mean you talk about it. And me and my wife, we go through Louisiana every other year to go to Texas, and we do make it a point to stop at certain places. I remember actually, we won't spend too long, but we went and visited the site of where Bonnie and Clyde got shot. We were like, oh, that's cool. And so we went over there. And every time we go to Louisiana, we make it a point to find something to do in Louisiana. And one of our biggest dreams is to go to New Orleans and try the food that we don't get to be blessed here in Georgia with. We got good food here, but it
Yeah.
ain't Louisiana food.
So
And
I mean, I don't really. People may think I'm biased or
yeah,
homer or this stuff, but I mean, I really think Louisiana got the best culture, best food.
oh yeah,
Um, just it's so unique,
it'd be hard to argue.
so unique, Louisiana. Just the way we talk,
Yeah,
Cajun accents. Just a lot of uniqueness with the state. But you
heck, your
know,
own language.
yeah, our own language. Yeah. The only
Everything about that state's cool.
The only other state I think that could compete with Louisiana with culture and all that stuff, I think would be Texas, probably.
That's fair. As somebody from Texas and all my family lives there, that's a good point. But
The only state
I
that
still,
could,
I love New Orleans. I love Louisiana. I've only driven through New Orleans, but I love Louisiana every time we go there. The people there are always just so nice. Every time we interact with them. But all right, well, hopefully we can give you 45 minutes to an hour of football talk to anybody that's from Louisiana. We're praying for you, and maybe some football talk will distract you. Let's start Penn State, Boise State, 31-14. I wanted to give a little credit to Boise State. I thought they did okay. I mean, it's 17-14 in the third quarter. Third quarter, they had one red zone trip that with a penalty that was devastating. They had another interception and another missed field goal. That seems like that was the story of the game. I didn't realize this while watching the game season that Penn State actually got outgained by Boise. They had 412 yards. Boise had like I think 300 and something. But I think the story of this game, Boise had 4 turnovers, Penn State had 1. And that kind of just like when you're a team like that and you're at a talent disadvantage, you can't turn the ball over 4 times and you can't not score in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
That seemed like that was kind of the story of the game. Are you a little worried? I'll ask you this. Penn State, like I said, 412 yards given up. You little worried about Penn State's defense giving up that many yards?
You see, I could be okay with yards.
Yeah.
Yards
can be a little misleading, huh?
Yards can be misleading. The way that their defense played, I felt like, I mean, if you look at the box, they may not incorporate it, right? But I felt like they played okay, right, for the most part. Let's see, Ashton Genty, 30. What he had 30 carries for 104 yards.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, yeah, it was something like that. They bottled him up.
Was that his season low? I think that might have been his season low, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I feel bad for Ashton Genty though, man. How many yards short he was from the record?
20, I think, 20-something yards.
Damn, man. Damn.
I didn't think Penn State was gonna I thought they were gonna do a good job containing him, but I thought it was gonna be like in the range of like 130, 140, something like that.
I thought maybe even like 160, 165. That's kind of what I was projecting. I thought maybe Penn State could have had, some trouble tackling, things like that. But man, I feel bad for Genty, man. He couldn't pull out the record. So close. But man, we gotta talk about Penn State.
Yes.
Man, how about Drew Aller?
He looked good.
Bro, Aller was dropping dimes and dots and making elite throws. If you look at Aller's career, and if you go kind of compare his seasons and the stats, they kind of been similar, kind of for the most part. Do you think this was the best season he had so far of his career?
Oh yeah, and I think next year could be even better.
Yeah, he's coming back.
Yeah, he's coming back. He announced it.
Wow, that's huge.
He could be the number one. Him and Nuss will battle it out.
So Aller actually kind of gets a little bad rep, kind of, unfortunately. I feel like I don't think he's a terrible or bad quarterback. I mean that he proved it against Boise State, that accuracy and the just dropping it over the shoulder, perfect, in the corner of the end zone. He had made some elite throws, and he's mobile, Aller.
Yeah.
That's one thing I always noticed. He can move a little bit. He is kind of tall and big in the pocket, but he can move. He kind of gets a bad rep, I think, Aller.
He does. I think he just hasn't had the right OC, and I think he finally got one this time. Although I will say I got a little gripe with the OC. His running backs, there was times they were just – I mean, Boise State could not stop them running the ball. We had mentioned it in Thursday's show.
Yeah. Shout out our boy JC, man, for calling the Singleton and the Katron Allen.
Yes, yeah. And but they couldn't stop them, but Penn State's OC kept trying to get cute at times and was passing the ball a lot. And I was just shove it down their throats, man. They can't stop them.
Yeah, so they jump on Boise State 14-0. Aller was looking phenomenal. And then I was like, oh, it's gonna get ugly, But shout out to Boise State, man.
Yeah.
They toughen up, and they fought for the most part.
They did.
They fought and they kept it really close. They battled. I thought this game, I had thought this game would have been the closest to an upset.
Yeah, you did.
But obviously it didn't work out that way. But yeah, Penn State.
17-14 in the third quarter. I was I didn't expect that. I expected a complete blowout, 48-10 or something. I thought Penn State was going to blow them out, but don't let the final score to the people watching 31-14 for you, because it was close. up until the end.
Yeah, that was good. Boise State in the Fiesta Bowl, huh?
Yeah, yeah. They almost got it again, but yeah, I think Penn State just overpowered them towards the end and pulled it off. Kudos to Penn State though. James Franklin, he gets a lot of flack for not winning the big games, and he deserves it. I think there's a lot of games. I think we talked about it early in the season. He was like one in something, but he continues to win games. He's got a big one coming up, but I know that I personally, and you feel the same way, we always want to talk the winners before the losers, and I didn't do that with Boise State, but Cam Scatterloo, man, what a freaking beast! What a beast! I hate that I did not watch many of his games this year. I was not familiar with this man's game.
Oh, same
He
here.
had,
Here, man, same here.
dude, he had 30 carries, 8 catches, so 38 touches altogether, 242 yards, 2 touchdowns,
Yeah,
and a 42-yard touchdown pass.
yeah. Now this score is misleading as well, I find.
Yeah.
Texas was winning this game, what, 24-8 with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter,
Yeah.
roughly. Man, that last 6 minutes was atrocious for Texas.
Yeah.
That ending, that was some bad football. A lot of mistakes, a lot of this game here though, bro. Man, Texas, man, we've been calling it all year the scheme team, huh?
Yep.
Sark still living with that scheme, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Was you impressed? I wasn't that impressed with Texas's offense. I thought there was a couple plays they made really good plays at the end.
They they had some good moments throughout the
Yeah.
game. You know, they Sark still loves to hit them with that the fake bubble, fake the screen and go.
Yeah.
Move from the slide. Hey, he's been living on that all year. Teams still fall for it. It's a tough little play to defend. You know, your DB got
Yeah.
to be disciplined. You know, you can't lock in on the start block.
Yeah.
But man, Sark though, he almost lost. He almost lost it in that overtime, or
Yeah.
was it going to? I can't remember if it was it the overtime where he faced that fourth down.
I think it was. I think it was.
What you thought about that 4th and 13 call, bro? What was that safety thinking for Arizona State?
Yeah, I don't know. I seen.
He was just staring at Ewers the whole time. Just staring.
Yeah. I seen Kenny Dillingham. He came out today and defended the kid and actually I'll send you the tweet in the group chat because I ain't got it pulled up. But he had said something here. I'm gonna pull it up real quick because I just want to read it off to you because you coach and you know this game. Kenny Dillingham talked about that. He even mentioned the play that he drew up and everything. So let's see. Here it is. He said, I want to talk about my post-game comments about the 4th down call. I called. I wanted to bring essentially a zero blitz that plays out like a cover 4. Our safety, which is that guy, he doesn't put his name. He puts his Twitter name, which is at 100-yard landlord, is taught to catch the immediate routes because the ball should come out fast. He did exactly what we coached. That play is 100% on me, not him. I want to make that 100% clear.
He's defending.
Is that just a coach defending his player? Or?
He's defending his players because if you go back and you watch that play, man, he's just that quarterback. I mean, that safety's dead staring at Quinn the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, man, you know, cover 4 responsibilities. They didn't live it up, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a coach defending his kid. And that's what he should do.
You're right. You're right.
He should defend his kid. He should always. I'll tell you what, man, Kenny Dillingham, I love that guy. Like, he was aggressive. He was trying things. He did that fake punt. The one thing we talked about it with Indiana Notre Dame is we were just getting after Indiana's offensive staff for being conservative and playing scared. Kenny was like trying everything. He said, "Screw it. You know, it's win or lose from home."
Yeah. I mean, it was 24-8, 6 minutes left. That 4th and 2, and they do the halfback pass.
Yeah.
The Texas cornerback got off on that play. Hey, he did a whole couple 360s, I think, bro, flipping the hips.
Yeah.
How about the play that won it, the interception? They tried to steal a play from Sark. They tried to do the fake bubble and go.
Yeah.
The slot receiver ran it really awfully because it wasn't going to work because the DB was playing 10 off.
Yeah.
How are you going to fake a stock block and go or like just try to set that up if he's playing off? You got that only for that to work. You need the secondary to come up.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy also is you had talked about how it was like I think 24-8 or whatever it was. I got it pulled up. It was 17-8 going into the fourth actually. Now they did score 7 in the fourth, so maybe here it is actually. So it was 24-8 in the
fourth quarter. 6 minutes left. I'm pretty sure.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Arizona State got really lucky though. I mean, that 4th and 2 with the halfback pass.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't convert that, it's probably washed from
Yeah,
that.
but this is what I was going to say. This is the crazy part. Even though through the first 3 quarters, Arizona State had 303 yards, which, like you said, can be misleading.
Mm-hmm.
And total yards can be misleading.
Right.
139 yards to Texas. I think Texas was just hitting a lot of those shot plays and getting some yards. I mean, getting touchdowns, explosive touchdowns.
Yeah. Now, did they have a return for a touchdown in this game?
No, I didn't. I don't remember seeing one.
We had a few returns for touchdowns. I can't remember which games were they. We had a few.
I don't think in this one. But I think the only thing I do worry about is, and this has been a problem all year, other than a couple of games. Well, I say all year. It was like the Georgia games, but me and you got a lot of love for the running back Blue, and the other running back Wisher or Wisner. They had 22 carries for 49 yards, no rush longer than 7 yards.
Yeah,
and Arizona State ain't that great of a defense.
Yeah, man, I've been saying it all year, man. They just rely too much on the scheme, Texas. It works for them. I mean, I give them credit, but we're gonna see how that looks against Ohio State, right? I think we'll see how that scheme versus your, scheme versus your talent.
Yeah, we're gonna get into like a little early look ahead on those games and the bowl. We'll talk about some bowl games too, but I'm not gonna lie, your boy's worried about Texas. Your boy's worried about Texas.
Oh yeah.
With the way Ohio State, which is a good segue, with the way Ohio State's playing, I'm worried about Texas.
Yeah, you remember how we complained about no elite teams all year?
Yeah.
Ohio State had the elite roster. Hey, they finally put it together, huh?
Dude, me and Austin was joking about this. We literally joked when the day started. We were texting each other and we said, "All right, here we go, another blowouts. Can't wait for the Rose Bowl." And I remember
Hey, we were like
Austin. I was like, "Watch the Rose Bowl be the blowout." Just joking.
I know.
And then,
oh man, yeah, I thought this was going to be the national championship.
Yeah,
in the quarters. I thought just because of the draw, but holy cow, Oregon
34-0 in the first 24 minutes.
Man, Ohio State played probably as perfectly as you can. I don't know. Did they have a turnover?
I do not. Howard did throw. Oh no, that's his combined. I don't think they did.
They played almost as perfect as you can. Ohio State, I would say. They were playing complete locked in dominant football. And Jeremiah Smith. Jeez, Jeremiah Smith.
7 catches, 134 yards. No, 187.
I didn't think I was going to see a receiver a similar talents to Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
But man, he's actually even bigger than Chase. Like his body frame. This is the closest talent I've seen to Chase, and he's more big and physical than Chase. So
do you think he's got to be the favorite for the Heisman next year already, right?
Chase? I mean,
no, Smith.
Yeah, Smith. Yeah. It's tough. It's tough because a receiver. It's hard to put a receiver as a favorite for a Heisman.
It is.
But he could start on NFL tomorrow, Jeremiah Smith.
So there was a draft analyst that said that there's at least 20 teams he'd be wide receiver 1.
You're right. Maybe even more.
Yeah, maybe even more.
Maybe
Like
even
we
more.
know he wouldn't be in Minnesota, obviously, with Jefferson, or the Bengals with Chase.
Yeah.
But he would be number one pretty much. Would he be number one over CD Lamb?
I was just thinking that whenever you said those cats.
That's possible. I
They
mean, I
the
love Lamb. He's my favorite player, but like he could.
right.
I think he's gonna step foot in the NFL and be up there with Jefferson and Chase.
I think he could do it tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I do too.
He's
Yeah,
already got the frame, so
yeah.
yeah.
I don't think we'll ever see. Well, we will. We will. We're both young guys, but it's gonna be a while before we probably see another wide receiver like this. And you think?
With that body frame, I would say that's hard to come across.
Yeah.
In
Would
college,
you would you say it's more comparable? Because I've seen this comparison. Julio Jones. Somebody said earlier that he was
got
the
a frame
closest
like
thing to Julio Jones.
you got a frame like Julio, but he moves and runs more like Chase. I find
Yeah.
he's more structured like Chase. His route running and his
Yeah.
catching and his stretching and just, I feel like he's more. I would compare him more to Chase.
Yeah.
Because Chase is a big frame too now. Chase is like 210. He
Yeah.
don't he may not look it at times, but he got a good frame on him too.
Yeah.
What's Jeremiah Smith 215?
Yeah, 215, I think. 215 or 210.
Yeah.
And he's fast.
Yeah, man.
Like, he's out of this world. But how about this? The last two games for Ohio State, 83 combined points, 8.0 yards per play.
Mhm.
Howard, 41 for 55, 630 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Howard was dropping some dimes. I mean, they had a lot of wide opens, but I mean, they had a couple shots where he hit deep, and it was like, damn, okay, he dropped it. Yeah, Howard's been playing great. Chip Kelly has been calling masterful games.
How did this team lose to Michigan?
Will Howard, I think
Yeah.
Will Howard lost that game. Those red zone turnovers.
Yeah, and another thing we got to give credit to that I wanted you to touch on is we have shitted on this. Oh, excuse my language, but we have pooped on this position group. And I think the key to these last two games, we both want to talk about Jeremiah Smith, Will Howard, Chip Kelly. That offensive line has stepped up.
It has, yeah. So they did anything they wanted. The play calling was really phenomenal. How about that one call Chip Kelly hit whenever he did that counter, but he hit the flat from Jeremiah Smith? That was a beautiful play call, man. Every coach should probably steal that play call. Phenomenal play call. And then then they had to start worrying about Henderson. They forgot about Henderson. The receivers was eating them up. So then Henderson just started breaking them off on them.
Yeah, that's another difference between this game and the last game. The last game, other than that one long run they had, Ohio State couldn't run the ball. They couldn't protect Will Howard. Mm-hmm. The O-line could protect him. They played great. And the two running backs, the Henderson and Judkins, they combined for 25 rushes, 179 yards. To me, that's the key to the game because when we watched the game earlier in the season, the O-line was allowing sacks. They were getting tackles for loss. They couldn't run the ball. Play calling. And it seems like everything has the Michigan loss may have done them more good than hurt. Like we all sat here after the Michigan loss and talked about Ryan Day probably should be fired. And the team has got together and it looks like it's woken up the players, the coaching staff. And it's like the coaching staff and Chip Kelly realized, oh, I have Jeremiah Smith on my team.
Yeah.
Let me figure out ways to get him the ball.
Yeah, Jeremiah Smith, Mecca.
Yeah, he don't even get talked about enough.
Mecca had a good game too.
Some NFL guys were talking about how he's going to be a number 2 in the NFL for teams.
Yeah,
like a number 2 wide receiver, like somebody that could come in and be Addison to Jefferson, or
he was a 5-star. He's a great talent.
Or T. Higgins to Chase. He's going to be a number 2. Honestly, I hope the Cowboys, my team, pick him and have him line up with CD.
Yeah, man. And then what about flip it to the other side? What about Ohio State's defense, bro?
Dude, they were getting after it, man. They had 13 tackles for loss and allowed only 3.9 yards per play.
Man, they were hitting hard. How about Jack Sawyer? Hey, I think Jack Sawyer earned him some money in that game. He had 3 sacks or more?
I think so. I don't know if I've got the game pulled up. Let's
Jackson
see.
really look impressive. And that other, I forgot the linebacker's name, but yeah, I think
Simon had 2 sacks. He
Simon,
didn't.
Simon, I was thinking too. Simon played well. Uh, what you call it? Oregon came out. Oregon looked flat
Yeah.
offensively. Flat. That
Yeah.
was definitely 100% not expected with Oregon's offense, right? That splashy
Mhm.
offense we had all year,
Yeah.
flat, and like they just man, the pass rush was phenomenal. They couldn't run the ball. Maybe I think that was probably their issue. Oregon. They
Yeah.
couldn't run the ball, and then obviously whenever Ohio State got up on them, they were just pinning their ears back with the pass rush. They're pinning their ears back, getting after our old boy, Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
Dylan
I mean,
Gabriel.
Jordan James had 7 carries for 14 yards, man.
He couldn't run, and they fell behind, and that really hurt them as well. And
Yeah.
but the pass game too, though, like they weren't moving the sticks. It didn't look too good.
Yeah, and a lot of people want to make big proclamations on Oregon, and I could be a little bit biased because I keep picking them to dang win. But I think this is just one of those days where you just got. Like Oregon was a great team; they had a great season, 13-0, Big Ten champs.
They're the
But
quiet.
I just think they just got. It just happens.
I called it earlier, man. They were the quietest number one team in the history of college football, I would say.
Yep. Yeah,
Uh,
you coach football. It's just sometimes I'm sure you have coached on the sidelines of games where you lost and you go, you know what, we just got.
right. That's fair.
It
Some
just
teams,
happens.
yeah, that's fair to say for sure. Ohio
It's
State,
similar to Georgia versus Bama earlier this year. It was just other than I know we made the comeback, but when we were getting beat down, it was like, you know what, it's just one of those days.
yeah, it's very unfortunate that they had to play Ohio State. Obviously, I think this
Yeah.
game should have probably played maybe in the semis or even the finals. But
Number
you know,
one team shouldn't have to be forced to play
well,
Ohio
here's
State.
let me ask this question. Okay, does Oregon lose to anyone else but like
I don't think so.
is Ohio State the only team you think that could beat Oregon in the playoffs?
I think so. I don't think Notre Dame. I mean, we'll get into that. I don't think Notre Dame has the offense to keep up. They do have a good defense, though. I dang sure don't think Georgia, and we'll get into that. I don't think Georgia could have beat them. Boise State definitely not. I know they were close, but I don't think they would have beat them. Penn State, I don't think so either.
You need
Maybe,
a firepower offense.
yeah, they could. They maybe. I don't think it would have been 41-21 though.
No,
I don't think anybody would have beat them like that.
no,
No. I think Penn State could. I think Notre Dame could. I mean, I don't want to sit here and act like Oregon's unstoppable. Wisconsin almost beat them. Boise State almost beat them.
right. That's fair. That's fair. That is
So
fair.
I mean, maybe if I had to rank it, if I had to rank it, it would probably be Penn State then Notre Dame.
That's fair.
If I had to rank, I don't think Georgia stands a chance against them. We'll talk about Georgia. I'll go on my whole spill about them, but yeah. So I mean, Oregon's going to come back. They'll be back in this thing next year. They'll be a good team. They got to figure out the quarterback situation. Obviously, with Dylan being gone, I mean he's been playing college football. It seems like for 15 years. I don't know with the way college football is going nowadays. They may give him another 10-year extension or something. He can play
Yeah.
2 more years. But Kuda,
Yeah.
I'll ask you this real quick, and then we'll move on to the next game. This will be my last question. Can Ohio State keep this going for 2 more games? Can they be this dominant?
Yeah.
2 more games.
I think so. Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah. You're playing your best ball at the right time, and
Yeah.
whenever you get on those heat, you've seen it before in college football.
Mhm.
Whenever that you get on that heater, bro, no one could beat you. It's like no one's gonna beat you. But I mean, we've seen a lot of crazy things happen this year.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of
Yeah.
crazy things happen this year. So,
Yeah.
but
And
I would say they keep it up the dominating stretch.
yeah. And it's going to be it's going to be fascinating. That's going to be really crazy to watch them. You know, if they do it, like if they go blow out Texas and then they go blow out either Notre Dame or Penn State, like it's just my college football brain that hasn't been rewired yet from, you know, how we make all these proclamations in the regular season.
Yeah.
Like it's just so hard to wrap my head around. Like I watched this team almost lost in Nebraska. Looked really bad against Michigan. Looked good against Oregon, but lost. I never. I don't know. It's hard to wrap my head around it, man. Like, I'm used to the 4-team era when they lost to Michigan, they were done. But hey, they're on the heater, and we'll get to it later on in preview shows, and we'll get an early look ahead. Okay, as you can all tell, if we have anybody listening new, yes, I'm a Georgia fan. I got to talk to Notre Dame fans for a second. I came on this show last Thursday with my other co-host, Austin, and we do a preview show. And I made the comment that I was never more confident in a Georgia win. I didn't think it would be a blowout. I said that on the show. I said I thought it would be close, but I was never more confident in a Georgia win. I got to give Notre Dame credit. Number one, I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was big time wrong. Y'all out physicaled us, which I don't think I've said that in a Kirby Smart era since year one. We usually are not out physicaled. We may get beat, but you ain't gonna out physical us. We're gonna play physical football, but we were out physicaled, we were outclassed, and I think at times we were just simply out coached. And you got to give credit to Notre Dame. And I asked Tyler or seasoned this before the show. If you would have told me that Riley Leonard only had 90 yards and Love and Price only had 58 yards combined in catches and rushing, I'd have told you Georgia won no problem. So the fact that Notre Dame won this game and Love wasn't all that great, and which he was banged up, and Riley Leonard didn't go off passing, that's a huge credit to Notre Dame. On the Georgia side of things, I think, look, Georgia's fine. I see Georgia fans. I deal with them. I've seen Georgia fans called Kirby Dabo now. I've seen Georgia fans say the dynasty, well, not dynasty, but the golden era of Georgia football is dead. Georgia's fine. We got some things we need to fix. I think we need to fix the O-line, which has been not great for 2 years now, running the ball. I think we need to fix wide receiver issue, which Tyler, our season coaches wide receivers, and he knows these wide receivers ain't that good. And they drop balls. They just not different makers on the outside. I think Georgia's going to continue to be a good football program. I think it's going to continue to fight for national championships. But before I hand it off to season, the thing that I think just turned this game around was really 4 plays. It was the 48-yard field goal they got to go up 6-3, then the strip sack, and then the 13-yard touchdown to go 13-3, and then opening kickoff at 20-3. When that opening kickoff happened, I reclined my chair, I grabbed my cell phone, and I started playing on TikTok. I said the game was over. It's done. Yeah. So I started relaxing. So that's what I wanted to say. Georgia fans, calm down. We're fine. We're good. We're going to come back next year. We're going to have a good football team. I think there's not anybody in the country I would be more confident in than Kirby Smart in making decisions that he's going to do, or that he feels is best for Georgia football. If he thinks that some people need to be fired, he's going to do it. The man has fired his friends that coaches on that staff before. And, Georgia's fine. But kudos to Notre Dame. And I'm going to hand it off to you, buddy.
Yeah. All what you said is very what I was thinking as well. And you said 4 plays. I think it was 3 plays. I kind of agree with what Kirby had said. The 2 red zone turnovers.
Oh, yeah.
And then the kickoff return. I think that was probably what wrapped. Now that was the story of the game. But even I still thought at the end in the 4th quarter, I thought could have, Georgia could have maybe score here and there. They had some opportunities. They were still kind of fighting late, but
they didn't give up.
You're right. Give credit to Notre Dame. They were more physical, especially in that 4th quarter at the end. Georgia's D-line was getting bulldozed at the end. But I want to, because I was wrong on this a little bit. Gunnar Stockton actually played better than what I thought he was going to play.
I was going to add in my head, like when you got done talking, I was going to flip the question to what your thoughts was on Gunnar.
He actually played a little bit better than what I thought. Now
20 for 32, 234, 1 touchdown.
Now 2 of those plays were really big chunk plays.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's something if you want to take with a grain of salt. But a lot of his production came off 2 plays, I would say. But he didn't look as bad as I thought, though. So I don't know how you feel about Stockton for the future, but he shows slightly potential. I'm still not overly high on the kid, though. Mm-hmm. But he actually played a little bit better than what I thought. But
I'm glad you said that because I talked to Austin about that this morning, actually, because I wanted to ask him and I wanted to ask you on the show because I think sometimes, even though I think we all do a good job of not being biased, sometimes you can be a homer.
mhm.
So to add some backdrop, I've never been that high on Gunner as a high school recruit.
Yeah,
I wasn't. I had been told when that there had been practices, in fall camp, where I had a buddy that went to one of the open practices for people that pay the collectives and all that, and said that he was so worried about Stockton after Beck because he was horrible. So I wasn't always high on him. So when the game, so now fast forward to the game, I was pretty impressed with him. I thought he played really well. I've seen Georgia fans blame him. I don't know how you can. I thought he was our only bright spot on offense. Like we couldn't run the ball, we couldn't catch, and like he was. I do think he's got to work on his touch a little bit. It
right,
seems like he only does well when he's throwing it 90 miles per hour.
right.
Sometimes it's either underthrown or a little bit over the. He did throw that one dime that was like it was just a bucket.
Mhm.
Um, I thought overall he did well, and I feel a little bit better than I did going into the game, and I do feel a little bit better by next year, but I don't feel good enough that I don't think Kirby shouldn't go look in the portal,
Absolutely.
and I don't feel good enough to sit here and say that there shouldn't be no competition, if
No,
that makes sense.
I know. Them they 100% still needs
Yeah.
definitely need a QB battle.
So
And
like I guess this is where I'm at. If we go through the spring and fall and you find out it's a true competition, which I think it will be, and you get to the fall and it ends up like Kirby says, all right, Gunner's quarterback, I'll feel good because what I seen in the Sugar Bowl, I saw some really good things. I saw a little bad things, but I also think people need to remember he's now fixing to go into a spring and fall camp for the first time where he'll be taking all the reps, or well, most of the reps, and he hasn't gotten that. And also this is a good point too. He did 20 for 32 for 234, and this is his first time all year taking first team reps.
yeah, yeah.
That's pretty decent.
Lack of experience. Yeah, that's the word. Decent, I would say.
Yeah. So I
Um,
feel okay. I still hope we go after a portal quarterback to add competition.
right, right, right. And he's tough, man. That's
He
one
is.
thing, bro. That's his best trait. Tough.
He is so tough. And I do know that the and this doesn't translate to wins, and I'm sure you know this. I do know the team loves him. And we all seen that when he got in the game against Texas, the way the players celebrated. I know he is well loved, and the players fight for him. They love the kid.
Speaking of fighting, how about Marcus Freeman, huh? Players fight for him or what? He's building one
They
of the best.
love that guy.
He's a culture guy, and
He's
I
hard not to like, huh?
no, I mean, I said it pre-show. Kelly, not too likable. Freeman, very likable.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So give credit to Notre Dame, though. Give credit to Notre Dame. Their fans are getting at me, but that's another day. But
Yeah. We still love y'all, but yeah, y'all got to get off my boy now.
yeah, give credit to Notre Dame. Notre Dame. Give credit to the playoff expansion because Notre Dame we wouldn't even be talking
Yeah.
about Notre Dame if we didn't have the playoff expansion. So
Yep.
that's one thing that we could take away from the expansion. You know, Notre Dame got an opportunity to keep playing.
Yeah.
And
And
Riley, he didn't even hit 100 yards passing. This was a Michigan performance. This was or like an early Notre Dame performance, huh? This is like him early in the season. But
I
he
don't
was
know how to feel about this because when I looked that up, yeah, I don't know how to feel because I'm blown away that he only threw for 90 yards and Love and Price didn't even get
yeah,
like that's I
yeah,
was blown away.
you're right.
I didn't expect that. If you came to me, if the football god came from the sky, that we all, and he said, Chris, 90 yards, 58 yards, I would have been like, thank you, football gods. Georgia won. We're going on to the next round. But No, like I said, they just like you said, and like I said, you had mentioned it, and Kirby said. I think it just came down to a couple of plays, and it happens.
Yeah,
But here's what I'll say to the Georgia fans freaking out too. I don't used to when Georgia would lose a game, my week was ruined. And I want to say this to Georgia fans. I remember being on the message boards and on Twitter when we hadn't won a national championship. And I remember y'all said the same thing I used to say. I just want to see one before I die. I just want to see one. 1980. That was all the jokes. And you know what? I've seen 2 national championships in my lifetime. I see a program that's winning 10 games or more every single year for the last 6 years. And I just saw a team go 11-3 as their final record in a SEC that had 18. I think we have 16 teams now. You know, it was a good season. Good season. And
yeah, it's unfortunate Beck went down with a hurt, went down injured, even though he was playing very shaky all year.
yeah.
I think it would have been a different outcome, even though Stockton played decent.
Yeah.
But
I was just going to ask you that. Somebody asked me that earlier. Or no, not me. Somebody was talking about it earlier. Do you think it would have made any difference?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could do a lot. You could do a lot more with the experience and the play,
Mhm.
the pass and play calling. For
And
sure.
making the checks and all at the line.
Yeah, it would have been. I mean, I can make argument. I think Georgia probably would have won, but it would have definitely been a different outcome.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get into before
So
we go into
yeah, us man, all 4 bye week teams lost, huh?
yeah, I wanted to. So
By,
that's a good thing. Yeah,
by month, I mean. By
yeah. I was thinking about this. I don't know. I don't want to take too much from it. I guess it all depends on where people stand. I don't know where you stand. Some people hate the buys, and I think if you hate the buys, is this is going to prove why you hate them. I think for me personally, I don't want to. I can tend to overreact at times, a lot of the time. So I'm trying to get better at that, and I don't want to just. I don't know. I just don't want to overreact after 1 year. And I also think 2 teams that were by teams were like double-digit underdogs. So they were
Yeah,
projected to lose
yeah,
anyway. I
yeah,
think the biggest problem, and you have talked about it, I've talked about it, Austin's talked about it, and I think even Brian's talked about it. I think the biggest problem is more seeding than it is the buys.
100%
Um,
is.
I love Boise State. I love Arizona State. I think they should be in this playoff. I thought it was cool. And I don't care who I piss off with this, but they shouldn't have had a bye. They just shouldn't.
Yeah,
That's all there is to it.
yeah.
You know.
But
Um,
however, it's technically a bye month, not a bye week if you think about it.
yeah. How does the NFL do it? Is it just a week?
Yeah,
That's true. That's a good point, man. That's a really good point.
these teams weren't playing for like 20 something days or something, right? But
That's a good
here's
point.
the thing about the NFL: they start their freaking playoffs literally the week after the season, regular season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't got no Army Navy in the NFL, but that's another thing they need to fix too. I mean, start the damn playoffs the week after the regular season and either push Notre Dame, Army Navy up. I made the recommendation, move them to week 0.
Yep.
They could still get their spotlight in week 0.
That's such a good point. You know what? I didn't even think about it. You're absolutely right. Yeah. 20 some odd days is way too long.
Dude, that's almost literally a
Yeah.
month playing
You
football.
like, and I say this all the time, you coach football. That's just too long, ain't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Hit reps, locked in for you guys.
High school playoffs, it's just like Georgia and Louisiana.
It's only to just play one game.
Yeah.
That you'll probably be okay, or 2 games maybe. But
Like they did in the BCS era.
yeah, these playoffs now are everyone's fighting, fighting.
Yeah, and you're right. That's a really good point. That's something that I need to take into consideration next time I debate buys or not. Like, you're right. Yeah. 26 days or whatever is way too much time off for a team.
I mean, look, our national championship's playing on January 20th this year.
Yeah. Oh gosh, how many days is that after?
I mean, I'm sure we had some late championships in our history, but I can't remember. Did we ever have one like this late in January?
No, I don't think so. No.
It's usually like the second week, huh?
Yeah, it's usually the first it's usually the first second week after the first. Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, matter of fact, my birthday's on the 12th, and it's before my birthday. I thought every year.
almost every year, or
Yeah.
roughly maybe on your birthday.
Yeah, maybe on my birthday, but it's never. My daughter's is the 17th, and it's never been past hers. I know
Yeah,
that for sure.
that's late.
Yeah, yeah. So let's do. We're not gonna dig deep into this because we'll have a deep dive preview show. Early thoughts on Texas Ohio State?
I think Quinn is going to have to be forced to be a difference maker in this game. I don't think the scheme. I don't think you're gonna have to you're gonna live on the scheme against Ohio State the way they play and the talent they have on that roster. We'll see. We'll see. I could be wrong, but I think Quinn's gonna have to step up and make some big boy throws.
Yeah. Do you think?
Art's gonna have to call some one-on-ones. Not everything's gonna be schemed up. I could be wrong, but Ohio State's an elite roster, a lot of talent everywhere. I think we'll see. We'll see. Ohio State's playing hot. I just think Ohio State got way too much momentum for this one. I could see Ohio State winning by double digits, honestly.
I'm glad you said that because I don't. Like I said earlier, I tend to overreact and live in the moment. That's why I picked Oregon because I was trying to combat myself from living in the moment and not getting too crazy about Ohio State's blowout on Tennessee. But I can't help but to think Ohio State's going to blow them out.
Yeah, or at least a 10-point victory.
Yeah,
I think is that very much reasonable.
Yeah, so on the Notre Dame Penn State one, this one's probably gonna be similar to Georgia Notre Dame, where it's gonna be just physical and low scoring.
Yeah. Now Notre Dame Penn State, they've similar structured teams. It's very similar structured almost everywhere, kind of. However, I think Notre Dame opened up as a favorite, right?
Yeah, I think they're 1.5, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. Riley's kind of been a little up and down a little bit. However, if Aller plays like how he played against Boise State, I think Penn State wins this.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think Penn State has the better offense.
And Penn State's box. They could stop the run. They proved it. They stopped Genty to his lowest all season. They got a good box. I really like 33, the edge defender. They play as one unit. Notre Dame, I feel like this game could kind of go a little either way a little bit.
Yeah.
My lean is Penn State. My lean is Penn State in this one because I think Aller's a better quarterback than Riley, but Riley is not too far off very much. Maybe in the throwing, he's a little off, but I mean, experience, leadership, control. I think they just very similar structured teams, but and they both playing very well right now. Both teams, I would say.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I kind of agree with you. I haven't really thought about who I thought was going to win. I think early lean. This is probably going to change, but I guess Penn State because they probably have the better offense.
I'm going with Penn State Ohio State rematch for the national championship, dog.
So that's going to be crazy.
And if you remember that game was nuts, bro. You remember those red zone turnovers?
Yeah,
I remember that was a crazy game, bro.
And oh my gosh, us people, Big Ten people, we love you, but
bro, give us a Penn State or Ohio State national championship, bro. This is what the people want, dog. Come on, bro. Let's go.
Hey, but us people in the South are not going to love hearing Big Ten football.
Oh man, hey, that's my second. That's my second favorite conference, man. So
yeah, no doubt about it. They're up there with us in SEC. Like it's us. We're always fighting with each other, and it's North versus South. Man, but hey, I will say this because I am an SEC homer. We got to give the Big Ten credit. They've done their job.
I'll tell you what. Hopefully, if they do have a rematch, maybe they could give the ball to the Tyler Warren.
Yeah,
4 times in a row.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe Penn State offensive coordinator learn his lesson, dog.
I
But
hope so.
they played Ohio State as tough as nails, though, bro.
Yeah.
That game was at Happy Valley, though, right?
Yes.
That kind of concerns me. A neutral
Yeah.
site game, that might concern me a little bit.
Because this game will be in Atlanta, the national championship.
Yeah, the semifinals. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am too. I'm actually more hyped about the Penn State Notre Dame game because I think it's going to be the closest. I think
Probably so. I feel
now
like that.
helmet game wise, like helmet game wise, Notre Dame and Ohio State's appealing because it's two storied programs. I think it's going to get the most hype. I'll be curious to see if Ohio State can keep this going. Can you stay this hot for 4 games in a row? Which is what this will be their 3rd game. Can you continue to be this hot? I wonder because I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, so you would love to see the Notre Dame Ohio State, or are you just making a helmet like?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I think I'd love to see Penn State.
I want to see
Ohio State if I had to pick.
Yeah, dog. Give me James Franklin, Ryan Day, both fan bases, both rivals. I want to like. I feel like that would be an amazing storyline.
Yeah,
So,
I think so too.
Yeah. Now, if you look at the last 4 teams, Ohio State's last championship was 2014. Texas was 05. Notre Dame was 88, maybe.
Yeah, it's something 80s somewhere.
Penn State was in the 80s too. So we got to. Here's what I want to say. I'm gonna ask you this: for how much overdue Penn State and Notre Dame is, do you think Ohio State and Texas is even more overdue because of the fan bases and the brand?
I think they're more overdue because of the expectations of Ohio. I'll put it to you. I think Ohio State's more overdue than any of them because when you recruit at the level Ohio State does.
Over Texas?
I think so. Well, Texas, probably
It's
equal.
fair. Honestly, you can make an argument for each team, but
yeah.
But yeah,
Ohio State to go that long without a national championship and to
with all those elite rosters.
Yeah.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
I think Ohio State's overdue. I really do. I think Penn State, Notre Dame, like if they lose, they're going to be not that this is always going to be the case, but I think they're just going to be happy. Like, holy crap, we made the Final Four. It's been first year of the 12-team playoff. I think if Ohio State doesn't win the national championship, their fans are going to explode.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think so
Texas too, because Texas is now starting to get that expectation back.
Yeah, I would say that Ohio State's always going to be natty or bust because Ohio State's the biggest name brand of all football, even bigger than Alabama, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
that's my opinion.
I think they're the biggest name brand of all college football.
The Ohio State, dog.
It's the Ohio State.
Texas kind of got the natty or bust expectations too. Penn State and Notre Dame, very big, huge programs, but they just haven't won in so long that their expectations just fell off. But
maybe it'll grow as a season if they keep making 12-team playoffs. But this year, I agree with you.
Yeah,
I think Penn State fans are just tickled to death to be in the Final Four.
Yeah.
Notre Dame fans, I think Notre Dame fans are just happy they beat somebody of Georgia's caliber because they usually don't do that.
No, that's very valid points, and
they probably don't give a damn what happens next game.
Penn State gotta be like freaking out though with potentially Ohio State looming up though. God, man, I'm praying that's what we get.
I think everybody's praying that's left in the field other than Texas. Like Penn State and Notre Dame are like, shit. They're probably rooting for Texas.
Oh, 100%.
I'll put it to you this way. You know what? Before we move on, the game that I think ESPN wants the most is probably
Ohio State, Penn State, right?
Yeah. But could you imagine the ratings also on a Texas Notre Dame? Just because Notre Dame and the golden helmets,
the history and shit.
Yeah, the national brand of Notre Dame, the Four Horsemen.
I guess. Give me that Ohio State, Penn State though.
Oh, I'm with you. Give me Ohio State, Penn State.
What?
Yeah.
Man,
all right, let's get into we're gonna quickly talk a little bit of bowl games.
Man, how about before we jump into that, how about the SEC hate? Bro, we gotta talk about that. briefly.
I don't want to repeat what I said on Twitter. I know you probably seen it, but the way they are like,
Bleep.
their pants are about to explode.
Oh, what? The
God.
SEC hate is, I mean, the jealousy, the pettiness, the hate, like it's embarrassing a little bit, huh?
By the national media too. Like that's what's annoying to me.
I
Like for me to
understand the fans because they always gonna hate the
yeah.
SEC, but like
You can
I mean,
see, like, if Texas loses, the national media is going to, like,
yeah.
they're not going to be able to contain it no more.
Here's the thing: if you watch the regular season, you should have already had the expectation. Like the SEC wasn't really like
No,
your typical SEC, correct? Right?
no, yeah, and
Expectation should have easily been tampered.
yeah, and
Easy.
they can make all these jokes and they can laugh and mock and write their articles and all that, but at the end of the day, it's still only been it's like a 2-year thing, and to me, it's going to take more than just 2 years for you to tell me the SEC ain't the best conference.
Yeah.
They were not the best this year. I will agree.
Right. And everyone's saying the NIL killed the SEC. It may have the first 2 years, but I'm not 100% yet on that yet. Not yet. Maybe if 5 years.
I'll tell you this much. Yeah. There ain't going to be many of them that's going to keep, like, not spending money. They're going to eventually be like, no, to hell with it. Look what LSU, LSU, the complaints for a while now has been LSU's broke. LSU won't spend. And then next thing you know, they're getting freaking 100 kids out of the portal and spending bukus of money.
Yep. And I can't see the drought going too long, but if the drought were to go 3-4 years, then I would probably be like, all right. And maybe
it's over. Yeah. Like the rain is over.
Maybe you're all right, but
it's going to take more than 2 years for me to sit here and if we go 3 or 4 or 5 years.
Now, if next year we have another mediocre, I don't think it's going to happen. But if we have another mediocre year in the SEC, I would kind of really start getting concerned.
Oh yeah. I tell you who needs to be concerned, Greg Sankey, because if they keep not, his power is going to start dwindling. You don't want the Big Ten commission getting all the power. But anyway, hit on LSU.
Greg Sankey's going to be fundraising or what?
Yeah, he's going to be making some calls like, hey, y'all need to get it together. Yeah.
Oh, man. LSU Baylor?
Yeah, hit on that. I didn't get to actually watch a lot of it.
Yeah, I watched it. Man, Nussmeier. I don't want to overreact, but man, he made a Heisman kind of like footprint a little bit. He kind of had a little like where he showed like, okay, maybe next year, he could be a preseason Heisman top type guy for sure. That's one thing that stood out. Chris Hilton Jr., the wide receiver, man, he's elite speed, bro. Elite speed. LSU and the tight end, Trey'Dez Green. Really good game by LSU. They kind of dominated it. How much you watched of this one?
I'll be honest, not much.
Not much.
I watched a little bit. I had it on, so the way I had like 3 things going, so I was watching 3 different games, and I can't remember which 2 I was barely paying attention to. Was South Carolina game on at the same time sometime? I think it was. I think they were all 3 o'clock games or 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah, it was on the same time. Yeah. That's right.
I was really into South Carolina, Illinois, and there was another one. And eventually, when LSU had gotten, further ahead, I turned it off and started watching something else. So I didn't get to watch much of it. I don't even get to offer much thought of it, other than what I heard, what you had said, and I had a buddy of mine, I think, that was watching it and that was texting me different things. I was kind of keeping up the game through y'all.
Yeah.
And then I did go and watch highlights, though. I went and watched highlights.
Man, LSU played well. A couple players had some breakout performances, so got us really excited for next year.
Yeah, I seen that. I follow a lot of LSU fans on Twitter because I love LSU fans. I think they're great. So I have a real loving to LSU fans, and everybody I seen on Twitter, they were getting hyped. They were getting hyped for next year. So big year for Brian Kelly. Man, Kalen DeBoer. at Alabama. You
So
down on him any?
I didn't get it. I was work. I didn't
Yeah.
get I didn't get a chance to watch the Alabama game, Michigan game, but I seen that they had the ball 30 seconds left, maybe roughly, first
Yeah.
and 10 on the 15. I should have went back and look at the play sequence. What happened? Why? How they did not score?
Man, that I'll say this: that offense, Milrow was so bad. I'm trying to pull it up. I had it pulled up, and then my freaking iPad died. Milrow, man, dude, he played so bad.
Yeah,
So
but I mean, they still had the opportunity to win it though. First and
yeah,
10 at the 15-yard line, 30. I forgot how much time was left, but I was like, okay, they're probably going to score a touchdown, kick the extra point, and they probably win. But I would really like to. I should have went back and looked at the play sequence. I wonder what was the play calling in that
yeah.
situation. Did they have flags or like what happened? Because man, they had a great opportunity to go score and win it.
When was this? Was at the end of the game, right?
In the game, yeah,
I'm
they
trying to
had
refresh my mind.
the ball first and 10 at the 15 with like 30 something seconds left, and they couldn't convert. They couldn't get it in. I don't know. I think it ended up went into like a fourth down, and they passed and incomplete or something. Yeah.
Let's see. It is.
Yeah, Kalen DeBoer, huh?
Yeah,
And
so yeah, it was 4th and 10 or 56 seconds left because that was the last play of the game. It was 4th and 10 at Michigan 15. Milrow stepped back and it was an incomplete pass, and Michigan got the ball back and nilled it out.
you see, here's the thing though. I'm pretty sure it was 1st and 10 at the 15. So that was 4 plays in a row that are
Yes, yep, here it is. He had an incomplete pass to Ryan Williams, 1st and 10, 2nd and 10. Had a pass complete to Jay Miller for 25 yards, and then okay, hold on. Here it is. I'm sorry. 1st and 10 at the 15, incomplete. 2nd and 10, incomplete. 3rd and 10, incomplete. Timeout. Fourth down, incomplete.
Oh man, I need to go back and watch it. I need to see what like how the plays are going looking and stuff. 4 straight incomplete passes, man. Man, I was saying it all year, even last year. Jalen Milrow was a product of the system. Of the system. And I asked many people, like, do you think he's an NFL type quarterback? I mean, at times he may show it, but
Yeah.
the consistency was really a big issue with Milrow. Really great runner, really elite runner. Give him that. But that was his biggest knock. People may say play calling, blah blah blah, but I don't know. I'm a big eye test guy, and just man, what you thought of Milrow, especially, I think he regressed.
He played so bad. Yeah, he regressed. I just think, which was shocking to me because I really thought DeBoer was going to really turn him around. I really thought Nick Saban's the GOAT. I thought the ceiling had a higher offense with DeBoer as the head coach than Nick Saban because, because who he had hired in Tommy Rees. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think I hate to overreact after year ones because I always give coaches passes on year ones. But I think at a place like Alabama, man, they're not going to take 9 and 4s.
No. And
if they go 9 and 4 next year, he's fair or not. I don't think it's fair. He's probably in the hot seat.
I knew after that performance, he would have been crazy to come back. Milrow. The disrespect he was just getting from everybody. You'd have been crazy.
See the comments on message boards. It's so nasty.
You'd have been crazy to come back and play because all it takes is one bad play and they back on you. So I understand why I thought maybe he would have maybe tested it out at another college, but then I kind of understand. Just go to the NFL and test your luck.
Yeah.
I think he's a 5th round pick at best.
Yeah, but do you think he probably could test really well? But I don't know if that'll help him a lot.
Yeah, I got lots of quarterbacks on my board that I'm picking ahead of Milrow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Let's jump on this one and then we'll end it on this one because of the mid fight two coaches acting like tough guys. 21-10 Illinois, South Carolina. I got a rant. The coaches, I love coaches. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I love the whole fake tough guy stuff because they'll get into it. they're yelling. I remember my buddies were texting me like, oh, I can't wait for the midfield. I said, bro, these guys are going to shake hands and act like nothing happened. Coaches love to do the whole antics and stuff, and then when it comes to it, they ain't ever actually going to fight. Shane Beamer, my feelings on him. I get annoyed by him. He annoys me. I think that I think the Illinois coach knew he could get in his head, because South Carolina fans hate when I say this. I got killed on Twitter for it. But Shane Beamer is a little emotionally unstable, and he's real easy to get in his head. And I think Brett knew that, and I think he played little mind games on him and got him riled up. And I think if you can rile up Shane Beamer, you can get him to coach kind of really tight. And I thought it was funny though. That's what bowl games should be like. Just have coaches trying to fight and Shane being held back by 15 guys.
Yeah, no, I didn't watch this one. Now did Illinois have some major opt-outs? Because I know South Carolina was playing without a few of their best players on the team.
I don't think so. I think most of the guys for Illinois played. I didn't know. Yeah, Illinois had a pretty good bit of guys playing. I
think ultimately it definitely ended up hurting them.
Yeah.
Not having your best edge rusher, not having your best running back. I don't know if other positions as well, but yeah, I think. I don't want to take away too much credit and make with excuses, I guess, but I mean, Illinois was a respectable team this year. Really liked Altamar all year. Very efficient quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know how much they got returning, but man, 10-win season for Illinois, 10-3.
Oh.
South Carolina unfortunately couldn't finish off the season with a win, especially after missing the playoffs and stuff. But yeah, give credit to Illinois here. And how about your boy, your head coach for South Carolina? Your boy. I feel like he is like he's a meme waiting to happen, huh?
Yes, that's perfect. He's the coach. I don't watch many press conferences, but I tried to watch every single one of his.
He is, what's his name again?
Shane Beamer.
Shane Beamer. Okay, he is a funny, serious guy.
Yes.
He is a funny, serious guy. That's the vibe I get from him.
That is going on YouTube Shorts.
Like he's so serious all the time, but I think he's trying to be funny though.
Yeah. I don't know if you realize this. He was on Kirby's staff for a couple of years.
Right.
Yeah.
And his dad.
Georgia fans don't like him. Georgia fans, he was one of those that we were like fire him every year. We were like, we just didn't. We weren't big fans of him. And I look, we do this show. We try not to show bias, but I want to be transparent with everybody when they watch us. Just know I have a Shane Beamer hatred. I don't like the guy. I'm not going to be fair when it comes to talking about him. I will give him his credit, though. He had a great year. Great year. And I think they're a preseason top 15 team next year.
It's fair.
With Sellers coming back. But, all right. Well, we went over. This is our longest show we've ever done in the history of our show. So, yeah, hour and 8 minutes. Good show, though. Great show. We had good viewers. Appreciate everybody. I have a wife that is dying to come in here and play her PlayStation 5. So she has texted me 4 times. So we talked a lot. We talked the playoff games. We talked bowl games. We talked look ahead to the games. We will do a preview show. I think the games are next Thursday and Friday. So we're going to shoot for, as long as Austin's good, January 8th, we'll do a preview show, which is on a Wednesday.
Okay.
Trying to think. Yeah, 8th. Yeah, 8th. So January 8th, we'll come back on here, have a preview show. I know our.
Let's see. Are the games on Saturday?
No, Thursday and Friday. Yeah, 7:30 at night or Eastern, 7:30 Eastern, so 6:30 your time.
You can't. You shitting me, right?
No.
Thursday.
They don't want to compete with the NFL playoffs.
I don't care.
I know. I don't either.
A Thursday and a Friday for the semifinal?
Yep. The Final Four is on a Thursday and Friday. Ain't that stupid?
Man,
let me make sure, because you're making me doubt myself.
After everything I've seen this year, Doesn't really surprise me in college football though.
Let
But
me make sure, because now I'm doubting myself. Let's see.
put both games on a Saturday. Come on now.
Yeah, here it is. It is yeah. So Thursday, January 9th, Notre Dame, Penn State at 7:30, and Friday, January 10th, Ohio State, Texas, 7:30 Eastern. So 6:30 your time.
Oh, ugh, dog. Come on, bro.
On a work night, Thursday.
Bro, hey, man. Next Friday. All right. Next Friday, I may do a play-by-play for that Ohio State
Yes.
Texas game. I may. We'll see. 6:30 start.
Yeah.
Ugly.
And we may do a I'll talk to Season about this after the show, but we may do like a film room show.
Let me guess. The national championship is on a Monday again.
January 20th. So let's see. Yep, on a Monday.
Yeah, make it make sense, though.
Make it make sense. But all right, we had a great show. I know our schedule's kind of been wacky. Once the playoffs are over, we'll be able to go back to our original schedules that we usually do. And I know the off season we may have a different schedule, but we plan to get that all worked out. I want to tell everybody we are getting towards the end of the season with the playoffs and all that, but we are not going anywhere. We are going to continue to have shows. I don't know if it'll be as many or not. We'll get all that worked out, but we're going to have content during the off season. We're not going nowhere because football is 24/7 for us. We're going to talk it all the time. We got portal, we got recruiting, we got we'll give grades out for each teams in the conferences. We'll talk head coaching rankings. We'll talk about the new head coaches hire. We're going to talk about. We have all kind of plans, and so tune in, continue to watch us. But the season's not over yet, so we're going to keep going with it. And we'll be back next Wednesday with a preview show, and then me and Tyler will recap it. I'm guessing Sunday, maybe that next Sunday, since it's Thursday, Friday. Probably. We'll go back. Yeah. Probably our originals. Usually we do our recap games on Sunday, so that'd be a good thing to do. So, all right, catch us next Wednesday. We'll holla at y'all. And subscribe YouTube channel at CFB_SZN, please.
Please subscribe. We appreciate you.